Welcome! First step here is to figure out where to place highlights. Black base and a lamp will give you an idea how light and shadows are formed on the object you are about to paint. Try to observe and replicate what you see. The paint I use is created to be very matte, so it's more difficult to see how light behaves on these objects. So it would have been much easier to observe light over a black primer, for example. I start by painting all areas that seemed most exposed to light. I usually use white mixed with a little bit of black. I don't have to be precise, this is just a sketch, and for now I will work with white and black only. Before you start painting light and shadow, it's good to decide where this imaginary light source will be. You need to decide where the light is coming from before you can paint it. The most flattering light will usually be above and slightly more to the front, to make sure the most important part, like the face, will be highlighted. It helps to remember the light travels in a straight line, and when you find yourself in doubt about which area could be highlighted, try looking at your miniature from the point where the imaginary light comes from. Everything you see will be exposed to light to a degree, and the parts closer to your light, or your eyes in this case, will be highlighted the most. This approach helps me to learn how to paint new or difficult objects, and I often try to paint light and shadow in a more realistic way, but if I imagine something impossible, then I will just paint it the way I see it and not the way it's supposed to be. My goal is not to copy life, and as a painter I can shape the world in any way I want. Once I placed highlights, I start working on the next darker value, and with each next step I add just a little bit of black. This way the transition between light and dark is less visible, and at the same time I don't have to worry about blending. However, when it comes to metallic objects or any objects with a smooth surface, it is common to see sudden transitions between light and dark. This will often happen when a surface bends or curves or reflects nearby objects. Knowing this can help you with darker values after you've placed highlights. Now it's time to adjust the shadows. Black base color does the most work here. If I see a surface that doesn't look quite right, I might come back to it and try to make adjustments to previous lighter values. One of the reasons I like to start with black and white is because I don't have to worry about trying to find the color I want. And right now values is the only aspect I'm working on. The last step is to brighten up some highlights with a bit of white paint. Up until now, everything you've seen in this video is the basics of my simplified non-metallic metal approach. And I spent about 8 minutes on both sword and the shield in real time. This is also a good foundation for any colored metal. You could use this map of values to guide you before you start adding color, which could be either glazed or layered over. You can stop here, or you can add various details if you like. You could add scratches or reflections. I often like to add reflections of nearby objects because I think it's nice to add at least some color. Glazing some color over will also visually smooth out transitions between values. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Until next time.